Merry Christmas and welcome to Bodice Tipplers.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Courtney. And today we're going to talk about the books that we used to steal from our grandmother's dressers, and then we're going to drink about it.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to.
So today's holiday-themed book is a Harlequin romance called Bewitching Hour. It was written in 1986 by Miss Anne Stuart. And the nice thing about this one is it's a soft book. We don't really have any warnings aside from both a consensual and non-consensual love potion given. So again, if love potions are a thing that don't work for you, skip this. And,
I do think it was a bullshit thing to do to your friend.
Obviously, it's a bullshit thing to do. But, you know, we're talking about white people in Vermont.
This is such a fucking relief, you guys. You don't even know. Oh my god, the last one, somebody got raped to death. So, I mean, this is like
this is a super sweet little, like, simple
book. Fresh air. Oh my
god.
So,
if this is your first time tuning in, be sure to check out our website, bodicetipplers.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook under Bodice Tipplers. Today, to kind of, you know, get us going for this book, because this book is bananas, we are drinking some peppermint vodka. And let me tell you, it's dangerous for Courtney, because Courtney is fine with peppermint or with pumpkin spice. She's fine with it. But really, December is her crack, because peppermint anything is a jam, and I just want to drink this bottle of
I think this shit might be
twist.
Pink, which is very dangerous for Courtney.
Yes, I love it.
We're also drinking this delicious punch that Courtney made. It's got cranberries floating in it. It's very Pinterest. There's lime and shit. It's really good. Yeah. And it's like this beautiful, like, pitcher full of it. So I'm drinking that because I have to drive home after this thing.
Yes.
But Courtney's drinking from the bottle of Smirnoff Peppermint
Oh my god, it's amazing. And we would like to thank, as always, Morganelli's.
Our not sponsor,
Morganelli's, because you can't prove that your neighbor is stealing your Amazon packages from your porch, but you know it. Morganelli's.
I'm always afraid I'm going to accidentally drive into your neighbor's driveway.
I know, it's crazy. I know. So, let's talk about Bewitching Hour. Bewitching Hour is blessedly short, so...
Thank God.
Anne Stuart, good on you.
I mean, it's not that, like, we want this particular book to be short, but all of these, like, more serious books are 500 pages. A Harlequin, you know you're going to get your 250 tops.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So this book is about Sibyl Richards, and let me get the official. We'd love to read the official,
because it's always bullshit.
Let me read here. Something's coming, and it involves a man. The tarot and the pendulum were in agreement. But Sibyl Richardson was dubious. Despite her position as secretary of the Society of Water Witches, love it, Sibyl's psychic skills were notoriously mediocre. When Nicholas Fitzsimmons entered into Sibyl's bookstore, her suspicions were confirmed. Nick was a skeptic who scoffed at premonitions, past lives, and everything else Sibyl considered important. But he changed his tune soon enough. Most people did after spending a night in Danbury, Vermont's only bona fide haunted house. So, this book. Okay. So, Sibyl Richardson. We love Sibyl. Sibyl is a ordinary looking with great hair.
Yes. Yeah, she's like a normal person. Well,
she's got great hair. She's ordinary looking, a divorcee. And she has moved from Princeton, where her family is. And her family is super fancy. Everybody's doctors and lawyers and has all the money. Sibyl was married, got divorced, and moved to Vermont.
She's like the family failure?
Yeah,
or she thinks she is?
She's kind of the black sheep of the family, because she believes in a bunch of hot nonsense.
But does she actually believe in it? It's my question.
She's very kind of like meh about it. Yeah. So she works for a bookstore that I think is owned by the Society of Water Witches. Best society ever.
I think that they also have supplies and shit.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's like a witch store.
So she works there. And she's got two friends. She's got Leona, this old crazy lady that's always talking about her, you know, inner eye. And
Dead-eyed Leona.
Yeah, little Leona, who's like, you know what I kind of imagine Leona to be? I imagined her to be like little Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh my god, me too! Poltergeist.
Or yeah, from Teen Witch. Like, that's what I kind of was hoping that she would be. She's not nearly as fun as her. She is not nearly as fun. So that's one of her friends. And then her other friend is this beautiful, like, white-haired witch lady.
Tits McGee.
You kind of feel like she's like a sexed up Luna Lovegood.
Mm-hmm.
So these are her friends, and then she's
Dulcie.
Got, Dulcie. So she's got Dulcie, she's got Leona, and she's got all these people in this, witch club. After her divorce, because she was sick of her family, she moves to her fancy house in Vermont because,
Well, it's actually their vacation home, I think.
Yeah.
So she's never really actually made it on her own,
no,
let's be honest.
And she buys 15 dogs because her family is allergic to dogs because she doesn't want her family around.
Yeah, okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
So she's working. She's got her little bookstore job. I think she maybe sells a book a week.
She's got a trust fund though, so she's all right.
Yeah, she's doing fine. So Nicholas Fitzsimmons comes in because he's a skeptic. He's like Dana Scully, but he does believe. Yeah, he's
famous
super famous. He's a super famous Dana Scully type, but he does believe in water dowsing. And dowsing is where you hold a pendulum and you ask questions,
or the two rods, or the fork stick.
Mystic happenings.
And my husband and I were talking about this, and of course we both did try to douse as kids. We tried dowsing.
So. He thinks it's utter nonsense, but in terms of water. He believes it for water, and that's why he's
But the crazy thing is, none of this really matters in the...
No, none of this that I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, no.
So, these two meet, Nicholas and Sibyl, and of course they can't stand each other because it's a very Dharma and Greg situation. She's flighty and drives a Subaru super dangerously, which we'll talk about later. Because, homegirl, I don't care how flighty you are. I don't care if you believe in witches and spooks and ghosts and haints. You still need to wear a seatbelt and drive like a normal person. That's just good sense. So,
and he drives a sexy as shit Jaguar. It's that British racing green. Oh yeah, I want to fuck his car.
Right, we'll get to that in a second too.
I'm sorry. Okay. I like this car a lot.
So they meet each other. They can't stand each other. Very
romance novel thing.
He's uptight and she's zany. So they go to a Society of Water Witches potluck, which is the lamest potluck ever because you can't drink because it interrupts your chi flow or something.
Yeah, whatever.
They do some past life regression on Sibyl.
I'm drinking. And I'm eating a nutmeg log.
And then Sibyl, this doesn't come up again in the book either, so it doesn't matter. Sibyl finds out that she was a French courtesan and is speaking perfectly fluent French. And, oh, wait, Nick's family was, French during the same time. And could they be long-lost lovers?
He had actually done a past life regression, for I don't know what,
So...
James Randi Foundation or Randy,
so bum. This doesn't matter at all.
No.
So
don't get attached.
Sibyl is trying to pawn Nick off. She tries to pawn him off on Dulcie. He has no time for Dulcie.
Well, because he is mega hot. Okay, we should point that out.
Yeah, we're going to get into that later too about his mega hotness.
Because he is mega hot.
I can't wait to talk about his mega hotness, y'all. This is going to be what this podcast is about. I'm getting through this plot to get to what Nick fucking Fitzsimmons looks like. So
but he is supposed to be super hot, and so is Dulcie. So of course, she thinks,
these two hot people are going to be together. Yeah. So he has no time for Dulcie. He's staying in town for a few weeks to study water dowsing. This never comes up, so don't worry about it. He stays at a haunted farm about a half a mile away from...
And she tries to keep the information from him that it's haunted. But don't worry, it'll never come up.
It never comes up. Yeah. So Sibyl is like, oh, your house is a half a mile away from mine. I don't want to see you, but in case of emergency, you can come see me. But, I'm just going to be hanging out with my dogs drinking Cavassier. The one thing that does come up a lot in this book is Cavassier. Cavassier is the theme of this motherfucking book.
It's like a music video. I mean,
it's amazing how much Cavassier these wasps drink. Just by the bottle. So.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick has got it bad for Sibyl from the jump. And Nick's not a bad dude. He doesn't believe in this hot nonsense that people are trying to pawn off on her. But she's really antagonistic. You didn't believe that this past life regression was real? You don't validate my existence.
This is all very romance novel.
Yes.
They're all against each other just because they are.
They need to be against each other. So...
He's nice.
He is nice. He gets bored one day and he makes a love potion. And
I think he's drunk actually on her Kvassia.
He's drunk on Kvassia. He makes a love potion and he's like, yo, boo, I made this love potion. I dare you to drink it. So it was consensual love potioning because she's like, meh, I'll drink it. I don't believe in it. But then.
Fucking Dulcie, dude.
But then she's like, well, maybe I do believe in it. So she calls her BFF, the sexy Luna Lovegood, Dulcie, and is like, well...
And she knows, by the way, Dulcie knows 100% what kind of love potion she gave her because Dulcie supplied the herbs. Yeah. Because Dulcie's like, get it.
Dulcie wants her friend to bang it out so bad.
Which I understand. Have we all not been there? Like, oh my God, just bang it out.
Sybil has a consensual love potioning, and then to counteract the love potion, you're supposed to take the love potion again.
A different love potion.
I love this idea so much. I love this idea that it would be like me saying...
This is actually the witchiest thing that happens.
I'd be like, yo, Sarah, like, oh, you drunk on vodka. What we need to do is give you a double shot of rum, and that will just, like, negate everything.
And I'd be like, shit, yes, you're the best friend ever.
Like, witches, woo! So,
I guess we get drunk for Jason from The Good Place.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So, Dulcie gives her the same love
Dulcie's
potion.
supposed to be a white witch, and I do think that's kind of shitty.
It is kind of shit. I mean, it is.
But I only think that because nobody gets, like, horribly, awfully traumatized in this butt.
It's roofie adjacent. Like,
it's not cool, okay?
Yeah,
love potions are never consensual. Well, there's no such thing as a consensual love potion.
I mean, to be fair, Nick's love potion.
Yeah, well, see, Nick doesn't believe in it, so that's different.
And he said, this is a love potion.
That's different.
So,
this is shitty. Yeah. This is, I'm sorry, it's out of character for Dulcie, and I don't like it.
So, while these two are snarking at each other, the other side story that we have is with Leona, a.k.a. Zelda Rubinstein, who is shady.
And like, Nick sees it immediately.
He's like, this little tiny woman is shady AF. And
he's 100% right.
All around town, all these old ladies are, like, losing money. They're not losing enough money that, like, they're going to go bankrupt. But they're just losing enough money, like, their families won't get any money.
What exactly is that amount of money? Because, I mean, you never know if you're going to get cancer tomorrow.
It's kind of
so what is the kind of money that you don't need?
So,
like, excess money? Do you have excess money, viewer? Please write us if you have excess money, because we have an idea.
So, Leona, like, again, Nick's all like, I don't like your friend. And Sibyl's like, she's great. No, she's not. She's a bore. Here's the thing. I'd be team Leona if Leona was fun.
Yeah.
But Leona is not fun. She's
no sex with Leona. Leona's like, oh no, you're going to ruin your, like, mind's eye or whatever, so don't fuck anybody.
She's like, be celibate.
And she makes rosemary wine, which is the idea of it.
I don't know what that would be.
Well, I have, like, huge rosemary bushes in my house, so maybe for next...
Like, wine? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so...
I drank a juniper beer the other day that was actually really good. Mm. Yeah, I know, right? But, I mean, I'm just saying.
Eat a treat.
No, I can do
Okay, so, while this is all happening with Leona, Nick calls in his buddy who's on Boston PD, who we have to hear about how this man is ugly constantly. How ugly he is in comparison to Nick.
Boston PD doesn't have any time to work on this because they're dealing with the serial killer, like the entire Boston PD. Yeah. And I thought, well, maybe the serial killer was going to show up. But no.
A favor. It's always a favor called in. Okay, while that's happening, we're dealing with Sibyl and her family. Sibyl feels like the black sheep. She doesn't belong. She feels like a failure.
But it's a fucking holiday, so she has to go see them.
She has to go see them. So she goes and sees her family, and they're perfectly lovely.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
her
really tell.
Her family is super nice.
It's hard to tell if Sibyl is kind of shading this because she has issues, or if her family is subtly shitty, which is the worst kind of shitty, of course. Mm-hmm. Like, the kind of like gaslighting kind of shitty. You can't really tell.
No, you can't.
It. But I kind of feel that maybe it's a little bit in Sibyl's head.
I think so. I think it's in her head. I think it's completely
Oh, by the way, Sibyl is not her real name. That's like the name that she picked.
She gave herself a fancy name. Her real name is Sarah Lee.
Which,
Sarah Lee.
As an actual Sarah, people call me Sarah Lee all the time, and it's really fucking obnoxious. So I do get it. Understand.
Yes. So she goes home for the holidays where she meets her sister's fiance, who is a guy that she had a thing for.
And she was like his girl Friday for like years, and he doesn't remember her. Like, oh, that's really shitty. Okay, that's legit shitty.
So Sarah Lee, a.k.a. Sibyl, has a snit, like, does a storm out. And I love a storm out.
I would not do a storm out in the middle of a winter storm at Logan and International.
A storm out during a storm never works. So
you're just gonna get stuck.
You're
gonna have to fuck somebody in a cabin.
Yeah, so
I mean, okay, that could be good.
Serendipitously meets old Nick Fitzsimmons, and they have to take a tiny, dangerous ass flight. Like, they're endangering everyone because she is pouting to get home.
Look, air traffic control, let them take off.
She's such a spoiled little white lady. Because she's like, I want to be home now. I don't care what the storm says. Like,
this book is white nonsense, the musical.
Oh
I mean,
my God,
you have to admit that,
it really is. Like, so they fly in from Logan to wherever in Burlington, and then they have to like drive for 2 hours in a good storm. It takes them 8 hours. Poor Nick in his sexy Jaguar. His sexy Jaguar. It takes him like 8 hours to drive this whiny bitch home.
And lets her sleep too, which you really want somebody to keep you awake, right? No. He's a good guy.
And then the car crashes into snow. So
her car, so fuck her.
And
it's in their driveway now.
She gets all mad about it, having to walk. So they do this basically becomes the fuck or die, snow edition, where they finally walk to the cabin.
I'm sorry. I love I'm sorry, we're snowed in. We have to hug each other for warmth.
And we're going to talk about, she's still dressed up from the Christmas.
So this very competent woman who is normally wearing corduroys and a sweater and everything is wearing a silk dress and fucking pantyhose because fuck you, because it's
square necked.
Not yet.
That's her sexy outfit.
Wait on that. That's the that's
so they fuck it out once. They fuck it out,
and it's good too.
It's really good. It's good sex, and then Sibyl becomes the wishy-washy. He has been perfectly lovely to her.
And he wrote a sexy note, okay? And so the sexy note says, I'll be back. I have to go and do this and this and this.
Yes.
I will be back at 4 o'clock. Be there. And I've been like, oh, hell yeah, I'm all be. No,
but she's no man tells me what to do. So
for no reason, but for the plot.
Oh, my God.
It's just for the plot.
So she leaves. She leaves. And he calls her out on her bullshit. Mm-hmm. He calls her out and tells her that she's being a coward.
And he actually was late. To be fair, he was late, but she wasn't there anyway. Yeah.
So he calls her out on her bullshit, and she pouts about it, talks to Dulcie, and then finally is like, you know what? He's a good dude, and I'm going to fuck him.
And you know what? Dulcie is 100% team fuck him.
Yeah.
So, okay, so she did do that thing with the love spell, but...
Right, so...
Dulcie has her friend's best interest at heart.
So, Sibyl puts on her outfit for seduction, which we'll get into.
No, she's a little sad, though, because she thinks she's Mr. Shot. But it's Christmas, and so Sibyl is not the kind of Christmas witch that doesn't do Christmas.
Right.
Dulcie doesn't do Christmas, because she's, lit.
She's a legit witch.
She's real Wiccan. No, Sibyl fucking loves Christmas.
Yeah.
She wears her square-necked, red velvet, leg of mutton sleeves, Laura Ashley dress with her pumps and her clocked rhinestone pantyhose that are white.
Oh,
you're seeing this now, aren't you? And okay.
Yeah, it's taking me back to 4th grade nightmares.
I was forced to go to church for a really long time, and that was
that was your outfit.
My God.
So she goes and seduces him.
No, she's hanging out in the house, and he doesn't know that she's there because
she does creep up on him hey.
she scares the crap out of him.
Yeah. So they bang it out again. It's hot.
It is hot.
And then this book, the last 20 pages of this book, becomes completely insane.
I accidentally read a cozy mystery, and I don't read any fucking cozy mysteries.
The most insane thing ever. So, Leona was guilty all along. Leona was stealing money from old ladies, but she was stealing money from old ladies because those old ladies weren't getting visited by their children. And she says in the book, people who don't visit their grandparents don't deserve the inheritance.
And then, the counterexample is, well, what about this most recent lady? Her kids came up, every weekend, and they were, I'm just a terrible person.
So, Leona kidnaps Sibyl.
With a gun.
And they go up to an abandoned cabin.
These are all summer people.
It's a summer person's cabin. And... Nick is hot on the chase because he realizes that Leona
Well, he had gone down to
evil.
Boston to check up on this thing.
And got some more news.
Yeah.
So
Leona's husband, her like racketeering husband, is getting out of jail.
Out of Rikers,
and they're going to Canada.
So,
and I thought they were going to go after Sibyl's money because Sibyl has all this fucking money, but it was never a thing.
No, it was never a thing. So the best part is, okay, so the final scene is Nick comes in to save Sibyl.
But he doesn't need to because she already clocked Leona over the head with golf trophies.
Hits this old ass woman 5 times, and in the book they name each trophy like, oh, there's Augusta. Oh, now I've clocked her with like the Atlanta Regional.
Like the base falls off. It is beautiful.
But
she tries to shoot her like through the blanket.
She could have killed this old woman, and then her.
But she's incompetent.
Her and Nick, while Leona is bleeding out supposedly on the floor.
No, Leona gets away.
Nick and Sibyl are like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. And they're like, oh shit, she got away and she took your Jaguar. They must be going to Canada. Oh well. The book ends with, oh well, I never liked your car anyway. Like, bitch, this old lady has been stealing money from everybody and she just took my car.
Well, it's because they realized something that the book does not realize, which is, you know what? Canada also has police officers.
It's amazing. Like, this book, I got super annoyed with it in the middle, and then I was like, holy shit.
I didn't hate it as much as you did, but then you, on the whole, liked it better than I did.
Yeah, I was like, the ending of this book is bananas, and I'm here for it.
We accidentally read a goddamn cozy mystery.
It was like old ladies getting beaten with golf trophies. What is happening?
It was beautiful.
What is happening? Like, so again, the other thing that's nice about this book was it's 250 pages.
Thank
like
you,
half
Lord.
the length of the other books that we've been reading. So
I think our every third book needs to be a Harlequin because they just I don't know, literally
and
wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
That is enjoyable. So we are gonna take our newly found. We're trying this new thing where we stop and take a musical break.
Yeah. So here's our musical break.
We're listening to Christmas music. Enjoy. Happy holidays.
Enjoy Valentine Wolf's version of In the Bleak Midwinter. Valentine Wolf is 2 really nice people who are married, and one of them plays the double bass and the other one of them sings. And you can enjoy their awesome kind of goth metal stylings at Spotify, at their website, which is valentinewolf.com, and that's wolf with an E. Also, they have everything on Amazon. They are super nice people. They played at our wedding. So, yeah, if you enjoy them, please look them up.
What a like a storm.
Welcome back.
Hello, hope you enjoyed that. So, it is now question time. Our same 6 questions, 6.5 questions that we do for every book. So, number 1, and this is where I'm going to talk for about an hour. So, everybody get ready. Number 1 is bastard to bay ratio.
He was hot.
About old Nick Fitzsimmons.
He was fucking hot, dude. I don't care.
Nick Fitzsimmons, y'all, has the most explicit description.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in a book.
It is my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so everybody buckle up, because we have a very vivid 1986 description of Nick fucking Fitzsimmons.
Or of the weird inner workings of Anne Stuart's
my God, it's my favorite thing I've ever read, possibly ever. Like, this might beat And So We Beat On, like Ships Against the Current, like End of the Great Gatsby, the greatest sentence ever written in American literature. This might beat it.
You ready? Are you ready? Buckle up.
1 part Frank Langella, 1 part William F. Buckley, a dash of Dan Rather, a soup of Sting, a soup son. Sorry, I got so excited. A soup son of Sting is a band name. Soup son of Sting, band name. Like I'm calling it now. Okay, hold on. 1 part Frank Langella, 1 part William F. Buckley, a dash of Dan Rather, a soup son of Sting, a side order of Henry Kissinger, and a tiny little streak of James Dean. It was a bizarre and potent combination.
Also, he has a widow's peak.
Yo, this man is a monster.
I think he might be Eddie Munster. Is he Paul Ryan? Oh shit, is he Paul Ryan?
This is
I think he might be Paul Ryan.
No, this is possibly the most horrific human being ever described. Like William F. Buckley?
I know what I'm looking to masturbate. Henry
William
Kissinger.
F. Buckley. Bug-eyed William F. Buckley. Yo!
I'm sorry, Henry Kissinger isn't the part that...
They're all insane. This is the most insane... Okay, Frank Langella...
Dan Rather's kind of hot.
Frank Langella, I get. It was right off that 70s, like the 70s Dracula with him, where he's hot, like the one, the Edward Gorey, that was a good Dracula.
The McBride household is very familiar with all Draculas.
Okay, I can take that. Young Dan Rather. I get it.
He's hot.
But William F. Buckley and Henry Kissinger, it's no words.
I'm always very frustrated when I go look at Pornhub and I search Henry Kissinger.
Do you put in a soup son of Sting?
Well, I do.
Can we try that?
I do like the David Lynch Dune.
Everybody likes the David Lynch Dune.
No, they don't. It's like famously unliked.
Oh, they're assholes.
I know.
But
I agree.
This is the most explicitly descriptive
we've never seen
about a man. So
he has visible stitches, right? I mean, like a square head.
What parts of him are what? Like, I guess what she's trying to say in all of these
hot but smart.
In these insane horrors that she has described. I think the worst part is if the soup son of the Sting is if it's the karma, if it's the whatever that what is the super sex that he's always having?
Oh, the tantric sex.
If it's like you have to have sex with this monster for 15 hours. Like, God damn it! Why will William F. Buckley eyes and Henry Kissinger voice get off of me? Like, why won't this stop?
Whose dick do you think he has?
Oh no! I don't even know.
I mean, Henry Kissinger is probably like packing.
The worst.
Every part is a nightmare. It's like there's no way out.
Let's talk about Israel. Thrust. Like, it's the best thing I've ever read in my entire life.
You're gonna die for United Fruit no matter what happens.
But in spite of this insane description of a man,
hot. He is super hot.
He is the hottest.
He is like the absolutely romance novel guy who is kind of a dick, but he is super fucking hot.
You know what I pictured him as?
He could hit it. He could hit it right now.
Young people listening, the young people listening to us. What I think she was trying to describe was when Jonathan Pryce used to do the Infinity commercials. Like, Jonathan Pryce used to do the Infinity commercials where he was always in like a mock turtleneck. And he was like, I'm driving an Infinity and
You're
I'm
gonna
sexy
kill me.
hell
Oh
and
my God.
British. And it was sexy as fuck. I was like,
oh, this man wears turtleneck sweaters. Like, wow.
I was like, I am 8 years old. But Jonathan Pryce in that Infinity is the thing that I want. Like, an Infinity is still, like, the classiest car because Jonathan Pryce was trying to sell them to me in his mock turtleneck. So I think
but the Henry Kissinger part is my big question.
It's insane. It's like, who's like, let's take a smidgen of Boris Yeltsin. I don't understand. Like, she's basically described like
a little Dick Cheney, and by a little, I mean the dick part.
It's like,
he doesn't have like a regular heart. They can just pump that up all day.
Some kind of insane warlord Ichabod Crane that she's like.
It's got visible stitches.
Oh my God, it's my favorite thing. So on the bastard to bay ratio, I'm putting Nick fucking Fitzsimmons at a 9.
Now he does do that romance novel thing, which would never be okay in real life, but it's hot in a romance novel where he kisses you and you gave him no indication that was okay.
Right.
But it's hot the way that because it is this romance novel trope. It is a fantasy. I would do it.
Oh, he's got the big sleigh bed. I mean, I know it's not his bed, but he knew what he was doing.
He could
get it. And you know what? It was all consensual, and he wore corduroy fucking, like, blazers.
Yes, please.
Yes.
With patches on the elbows.
A soup sauce thing.
Why all the sting? Why only a little soup sauce sting? Like a flavoring agent.
And then, like,
sting,
we forgot, like,
sting.
what is this little forgotten part of, like, James Dean? Because I feel like with everything that she was going, it would be like a smattering of Sal Mineo, you know, like. This man is a nightmare, and I am here for it.
But why wasn't it mostly James Dean? Because that was kind of what she was going for.
But I don't think so. I think she was going for like some tall, angular Dracula type man, and she keeps
saying he looks like the devil.
She picked a bunch of dudes that really look like a bag of antlers. And was like, let me throw some James Dean at it, and it'll make it better.
Sting.
And Sting, a soup sauna Sting.
Yeah, a little bit of Sting.
Y'all. I want to have this put on T-shirts. I want this on all of our like Anne Stuart. This is the greatest sentence I've ever read in my life.
I want it on your butt, like with those Juicy Couture pants.
Oh my God, a soup sauna Sting on your butt.
But no, mostly Henry Kissinger.
It's the worst.
The way that Henry Kissinger increasingly looks like. Wait, he's not dead, is he?
Oh. You know what?
I
think he died like 150 years ago, but like he's still
he's
just
like a basketball, and he has like
skeleton,
that equator belt, and like that male like moose knuckle business going on. So our question is: this book has been recast, or not recast?
It's been she republished it a couple years ago.
She did some monkeying around with it. My question is: has this description been
I'm about to buy the new one just to see what the soup sauna of somebody is. Like
Dick Cheney. It's all Dick Cheney.
No, it's like a soup sauna of like Adam Levine. Like I don't know. Like what? But yeah, who are the topical? It's insane.
Muammar Gaddafi.
It's insane. This is the most insane description of a person I've ever read in my life.
MBS, Mohammed bin, I forget his last name.
Oh, God.
That guy who completely had everybody murdered in the Ritz-Carlton. And
it's
also
the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. But it's him. It's entirely. So anyway, this description has nothing to do with this guy, though, because this is a hot, pale, dark-haired guy, weirdly with a widow's peak, whatever.
We keep talking about that widow's peak, too.
It's weird,
She loves the widow's peak.
It's Eddie Munster.
I really do think, like, she was going for that. Frank Langella Dracula, and instead of just being like Frank Langella Dracula, she's like, let me add some other hard things.
If I'm not careful, I will end up with Paul Ryan, and we do not ever want to have sex with Paul Ryan. Yeah, but he wears sweaters, and they fit him well. I'd do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
Okay. Back to the
bitch. So this is one of those books that makes me very happy in that there is a positive female relationship in it with another woman.
In spite of her friend, like, trying to, like, slip her a love potion.
Yeah, it wasn't her best. I mean, she was trying to help her. I mean, it was not what she should have done, and I don't like the idea of it. But
she was a good friend, and she was a good friend who had her friend in mind, and, like, they have talks that aren't just about a man and not about, like, you're so pretty, why aren't I pretty like you? Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that. So, yes. Yeah. Like, and the Harlequin books are good for that, and good on you, Harlequin, because, like, you understood that women... There's this weird thing about a lot of these early books that think that women can't operate with other women.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Although, we all know women like that. And they're the women who say, okay, there's women who have guy friends, and then there's women who tell you they have guy friends, and that's the only friends they have because they don't like other women.
I don't like other women's
trust
drama.
That bitch.
Yeah. Like,
do not trust that bitch. That means that she brings her own drama to the table.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, fuck her.
So, okay. Would you mind if someone slapped the heroine?
It depends, because she was against him. In the beginning, it made sense. She was against it because she hated what he stood for. But then everybody forgot about the witch thing immediately.
Like, so no witches.
Didn't matter. So, and then she slept with him, and it was great. And then she hated him because the plot needed her to. And I would have slapped her right then.
I didn't like her when, like, after she fucked him, like, she tried to ghost him.
Yeah.
Like, the ghosting was her. And, like, it was all, like...
And she was shitty about it.
She was really shitty about it. And he was nothing but decent to her.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. So, yeah, I would have slapped her during that. But then, again... Zelda Rubinstein tries to steal everything, and so she starts hitting her with golf trophies, and I was back on her team. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Would your 12-year-old self have dog-eared all the pages?
That sex was hot, y'all.
My 12-year-old self would have read this book over and fucking
But they never...
over.
Okay, is this weird? And we would have to do a survey. And we will do a survey if we have to. There's never any
Henry
oral.
Kissinger.
Oh my god, I said oral and you said Henry Kissinger and now I have that. I have that forever.
I don't think oral really comes into these early books.
Because I thought he was going to go down on her.
Well, maybe it was alluded to? I don't know.
No, it was not. Because trust me, I gave it a close reading.
There's a lot of blue.
No, but it was way more. It was more explicit than any of these other books have been.
No,
it was much more about them having like
consensual,
like, you know, yeah, they were getting it and they were getting it good.
That'll be maybe another thing, like, is there oral?
Yeah.
Because I feel like oral's always a good, like, litmus test of, like, is the dude in tune with, like, her
exactly.
needs?
Yeah, like how much they really, are they into each other's pleasure? But, I mean, this time he was absolutely... And
they were banging all night long, and there could have been oral that was, like, not... there could have been off-screen oral.
Yeah, like Henry Kissinger. Going for
Azrael! I don't know.
Get back down there.
I don't know what this terrible
she's
Henry
got
Kissinger
the ears and
like
just to shut him up.
It's the worst. I love it so much. I love it.
It's terrible. But no, it was well written and hot, consensual sex. It was nice to see it, and it was more explicit than most of these books. So this is a bit like later than a lot of the books that we have read. No, a thumbs up on the sex of that.
Yes. Okay, what is the CW level of authenticity for this book?
I guess it's authentic because everybody in Vermont is white.
Everybody in Vermont is white. Everybody in, like, I felt like it was kind of like...
It wasn't a historical... This is a contemporary book, so that's not really...
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of like a Charmed situation. Like, it could have been Charmed.
No, the thing is that they didn't bother to, like, really do any research on any of these, like, magical practices because we forgot about them immediately.
Oh, yes. So, I mean, it could have been, like, more witchy.
Yeah, I wanted more witchy.
I wanted more witchy. We forgot to do, because, again, we're in Vermont, and you forget in Vermont because everyone's white. How racist is it?
It's racist in the sense that there's nobody who's not white.
Yeah, that's true.
And this whole book is, like, white nonsense, the musical, like, seriously.
It is so much white nonsense.
Yeah, like, her big problem is that her white nonsense family, like, she doesn't feel, like, you know,
yeah, and then her family's like, you're great, we love you, what's your problem? So, what kind of booze is this book? Final question. And I think we know the answer to this book.
Oh, shit,
or this question. It's Cavassier, because that's what the fuck they drink. Like, with the amount of Cavassier flowing through all of these asshole veins.
It's amazing.
Like,
or rosemary wine.
Rosemary.
I have a huge rosemary shrub outside my door.
God.
Do not make me make this.
I do not want you to make this.
Well,
I would rather drink the Cavassier than the rosemary wine. So this book is obviously Cavassier.
It's VSOP, bitch.
Because they drank the shit out of it. Like, they just had bottles of Cavassier.
And then they're pissed off because they gave the bottle to somebody else.
Yeah, it's like, you gave my bottle of Cavassier away? What the fuck? So, this book was amazing.
It goes down smooth and then you forget it the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's like the love potion, the consensual and non-consensual love potion.
I didn't love it like Courtney loved it, but it was such a relief to read something where people just like have good sex.
I loved, again,
read it again. Do it.
1 part Frank Langella, 1 part William F. Buckley, a dash of Dan Rather, a soupçon of Sting, a sad order of Henry Kissinger, and a tiny little dash of James Dean. It was a bizarre and potent fucking-nation.
That man is going to war against a lot of black people.
It's the greatest thing I've ever read and will ever read. Thank you for the greatest Christmas gift, Anne Stuart.
But it feels like a rough draft because we never see the haunting. We never see the,
we don't see that.
I wanted it witchier. I'll take it though because it was a pleasant fluff. So do it, get it.
This book is amazing. This book is amazing. Again, a little old lady gets beaten to death or beaten
not to
on
death.
The head.
No, she's tough, man. She gets
she gets beaten over the head with golf clubs or golf trophies and drives away in a Jaguar that is owned by Henry Kissinger, William F. Buckley Monster Face. So
yeah, steal it. Do it.
The greatest book.
All right.
Merry Christmas and to
Happy
all Henry Kissinger good night.
Oh no, not in my secret places.
Oh, a soup con of Sting, motherfucker.